It's currently about 6:30 in the morning, and I made it back to the park on another day to kind of photograph sunrise again. The reason why I came back is just I had so much fun the other time that I wanted to come back and see if I can get some nice conditions in the morning at the lake shore. So that's the plan today. I'm just heading back to the lake and see if I can photograph sunrise and see what I can get. I do find sunrise very calming to photograph, watching that first light, and usually you're all alone. And today looks like the conditions are really nice. There's just like I expected, more fog and mist over the lake and in between the peaks, so I should be able to get a nice photo here this morning. But the only thing I find always stressful a little bit with sunrise is the fact you kind of have to find the composition quick before the light comes, and you want to assess the situation with the conditions. Even if it's a place you've been to so many times, you find that it always changes based on the time of the season, the conditions. So I think I have a good spot and have a good foreground here with some of these grasses in the bottom of my shoreline that I can use as a leading line to the open valley over there. It's a good spot to be. There's not much shoreline here, so I'm very limited in space. But like I said, it's always a rush kind of deal with sunrise. You kind of have to set up quick, figure out your composition, and just wait for the light and hope you get amazing conditions, amazing light. So I'm gonna get set up over here. And the first time, just off the bat, I'm gonna be shooting with my wide angle lens, but I might switch to telephoto throughout and just capture some tighter scenes. But just for now, I'm gonna be shooting with my wide angle lens. So I better get set up because it's about, I think, 6:36 right now. So I have about 24 minutes before sunrise. So I don't want to waste any time. So I'm gonna get set up here and we'll see what happens. After the last video you guys saw, quite enjoyed photographing sunrise, and I think once you do it once and you get back in the habit of getting up early, it becomes easier to get up and photograph at sunrise. I think I'm gonna set up right here because I do like this rock and all these grasses in the foreground. I think these make for a nice foreground element to photograph. So yeah, that's where I'll set up this morning. Take some pictures, just enjoy the sunrise. And I'm lucky that today as well there's a fog and a mist, and this is what I love, the fall time. Not just the colors, you get these really nice conditions that make it so much more nicer. I think a circular polarizer during this time will be beneficial. Maybe I won't need it, maybe I will, but I just want to have that ready. And the kind of filters that I use, in case if you don't know me, I use the Lee 100 filter system, and I've been using that for quite some time, and I just quite like it. Quite do like that reflection there, so calming. I just put on my polarizer on my camera. I'm just gonna get my shot set up here. I think I'm gonna shoot this like horizontal, just to kind of include everything. It just seems like it's just a natural to photograph this horizontally because it's such a nice panoramic, and I quite prefer the horizontal aspect more than the vertical, but sometimes the composition just speaks vertical composition, and this one, it speaks for me to be horizontal. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right, let's turn that on and see what we're working with here. Just firing off a picture here before the light comes, just kind of working on my composition here. This is something that I usually do. So I'm just quickly firing up a shot here. It's about 20 seconds at f11, the ISO 50 with the circular polarizer on. And yeah, it's just to get my composition right, see what I'm working with here. It's kind of like a first shot. And once the light show kicks on, if it does kick on, I'll be kind of ready composition wise. I would have to just adjust my exposure accordingly as the light increases, you know. But it's looking quite nice. I find sometimes when I'm polarizing, I like to look through the viewfinder and see what that effect is doing. Take one more here. 20 seconds f11, ISO 50. So I'm just taking one more picture here, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a bit to my right there and compose another shot, because something else kind of piqued my interest as the light started to come up and I can see things more clearly. Like I'm not in the dark anymore. So I'm gonna take this picture, I quite like it, and I'm gonna move a little bit to my right. So I'm gonna wait for this picture to finish, and then I'm gonna move a little bit to my right, compose another shot. Hopefully by then I will get some sunlight on the peaks. Let's just check that one if it's good. Yeah, quite like that one. Would like to try a different composition now. I'm gonna keep my setup with a wide angle lens. Just gonna move with my tripod and get going there. Grab my bag, grab my camera, just move it a little bit to the right there. I think it'll be interesting. So yeah, just kind of moving a little bit to the right to frame up another composition that kind of piqued my interest. It could be even nicer than this one. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Muddy, 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 muddy. Always in search for the perfect foreground. So I spotted another nice foreground element that could be really interesting to have in my photos. So that's why I'm moving. Wow. So nice. So love fall colors. I'm shooting these pictures pretty wide, but honestly, like I've been having a lot of fun kind of shooting with my telephoto lens. You see those trees behind me there with the color and the mist? I mean, that would, if you put a telephoto lens on and zoom all the way in, just photograph some of the colorful trees with the mist. Those look really, really nice. So after I do this shot here, I might put on my telephoto, just photograph some of the trees, just pick out little details. Why not? But I want to get the shot first. Get it up, wait for the light, see if anything happens, if I get some sunlight on the peaks. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, let me get set up again. I mean, I'm already set up, but let me frame up my composition here. And what kind of piqued my interest is, I don't know if you can see that, just those grasses here. They're just very minimal, and the water is so calm and glossy that it has a nice quality to it. So I want to set up a shot here. I'm just gonna raise my camera a little bit and set up a shot here. I think that would look really nice. Start to get a little bit of color in the sky there, some pink color. It's looking good. Having some challenges getting my composition just right. I think I'm gonna move a bit left, try to frame up something there. Just gotta work the composition, you know. Not so sure anymore. Having a little toughness composing a shot. I like these grasses, but I didn't like how they were kind of cutting into the reflection. I wanted them to be in the cooler part of the reflection, so I might just do it here because this just seems better. But I'm gonna raise my camera a bit higher, frame up a shot quick before the light goes away. Yep. Sometimes you gotta move fast. It's looking nice, but I'm just starting to get a little bit of light on the peak there. I don't know if you can see that, so I might just take one more shot here. I do see some light happening. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my composition as is. Keep firing a few shots here as the light gets better and better, and then maybe I'll switch to my telephoto lens and just kind of photograph some close-up scenes, you know. I'm just taking one more picture here, and if you can see there's the light just about kissing the top of the mountains, and it's looking really, really nice right now. The reflection is perfect, the fog is just kind of rolling through, and it's not too much fog. If you watch my last video, at some point after the sunrise, the whole view was covered up with fog and couldn't really see anything, but it was quite nice for other kind of pictures, but for the whole white picture it didn't quite work. So it's not quite like the sunrise in my last video, but it's still quite nice. There's just enough fog to add atmosphere. The conditions are really, really nice, and the light is kind of cool. And there's not much clouds, but there's some interesting kind of darker cloud kind of just hovering over the peaks, which frames up everything nicely. Alright, so I'm taking just one more, and then I'm gonna put on my telephoto lens. I think for this composition, this just works, you know. So after these pictures, I think I'm gonna switch to my telephoto lens, try the two pictures I want to take here. Just want to grab those real quick, so I'm gonna switch. just gonna put on my polarizer because I want to, I think it might help with the colors. So I'm just gonna put on the adapter here. Oh. Yep. Here we go. Quite like this shot actually, you know. Simple tree with a bit of reflection, the shoreline with the mist rolling through. Looks really, really nice. So I'm gonna try one more shot over in the other direction, something that I quite like. And we'll see. You know, this is the kind of fun with telephotos that you can just pick out stuff. Zoom in all the way. Take this shot here. This one I really, really like it quite a lot actually. Works really, really well. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, very nice. I like it. I couldn't resist setting up one more shot here because those trees in the distance are getting some of the sunlight. So it's a quite nice picture, and if I can give you one piece of advice to improve your fall photography, is put a circular polarizer on and just kind of spin it and see what it does to the colors. Just they look so much better with it. Definitely I quite like this picture, and it's just the mist is kind of cool, and the warm colors, the play of the cool mist and cool fog and colorful trees is quite nice. So I quite enjoyed all the pictures that I got here this morning. I think it was really nice to come out again, take some photos. One thing about a place like this, there's just so many photo opportunities here. Like I took pictures left, right, wide with my telephoto, and I'm quite happy with all the shots I got this morning. And also it was kind of very a calming experience, definitely. So I think that's the part that I enjoy the most about sunrise. It'd be kind of hectic getting set up, finding a composition, but once you do, it's quite enjoyable to just sit there and take photos. Duck scared the shit out of me.